Hello and welcome to Journey to Joy. This is your self-love special. My name is Hannah Wang, and a quick bit about me. I am an international entrepreneur, so I owned a 7-figure business for almost a decade between LA and Bali. Grew that very quick year over year, was living in the world of business, and then, the last couple of years happened and everything changed, and a lot of my priorities shifted and changed. And I realized throughout my time in business, one of the most important things for the growth of my business, but also the growth of me as an individual, was a lot of this work I'd been doing on my mindset, on my emotions, and I had learned a lot of techniques that a lot of people don't know about. So I am really passionate now about sharing these tools and techniques with others, because there are simple things that we can do to get really in touch with ourselves and feel really good about where we're at every day. So, without further ado, let's get started. Wherever you're sitting right now, I just want you to quickly shake it out. Just brush off any residual energy. We're going to shake it off our shoulders. And just take a moment to put your hand on your heart space. Take a deep sigh. And take a few deep breaths. And I want you to picture that these breaths are coming from your heart space. So where your hand is touching your heart, just imagine the breath coming in and out. Feel into your heartbeat. I want you to repeat after me and say, my name is Hannah, and you'd say your name, and I call myself present. And then once more, and I want you to really mean it and come into the present. My name is Hannah, and I call myself present. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Self-love is such an important topic. It first came up for me when I was actually looking into some money beliefs, and I went to see a theta healer about these money beliefs, and she started testing me on if I love myself. And I was like, yeah, I love myself. I'm an Aries. I totally think highly of myself. I think I'm great. And then she started getting into my subconscious and muscle testing my body. And my body told me that I didn't love myself. And the moment I felt it in this muscle testing, I felt it to be true. I knew that I didn't love myself. And it was this profound realization. And it's very interesting how sometimes our conscious brain and our subconscious brain can think two totally different things. And sometimes there are things in our subconscious that we're not aware of. And much of this work is bringing that subconscious to the conscious so we can bring awareness to it and release it. And so working closely with this healer, we went through a bunch of different lines of questionings, and I shifted this belief and moved into a powerful self-love. And I tell you, everything changed. My financial picture changed. My relationships to others changed. The way that I showed up in dating and romance and honored my own self-boundaries changed. My relationship to my family changed. And even just how I felt every day moving through the world changed for the better. So our self-love affects every part of our life. It's one of our fundamental beliefs that we can work on that will shift so much more. And today I want to run you through a quick exercise. We're going to do a little bit of journaling, and then we're going to do a visualization meditation, both of which are going to powerfully shift some beliefs that you may have about loving yourself. We're going to look into where the seeds of not loving yourself began, and we're going to change that all around and reintegrate all the different parts of ourselves so we can move forward with so much juicy self-love. Okay, so when you're ready, grab yourself a journal and a pen, and we're going to start with the first journal question. Awesome. So, got your journal and pen ready, and I just want you to take a moment to check back in with yourself. Just put your hand on your heart again. and just check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? Do a quick inventory over the different areas of your life. Your career and contribution, your finances, your relationships, romance. Are there any areas in your life right now where you're feeling a lack of love? Is there anywhere where you're feeling a bit of discomfort or dissonance? Is there anything triggering you or activating you? Now, I want you to trust whatever came to your mind, and I just want you to quickly write that down. So I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to give you a moment. Awesome. We just need to write kind of the headline of what the subject is that we want to work on. And now for the next question, when you're ready, I want you to think about what your stories are around this topic. What are you telling yourself about this topic that is causing this dissonance within you? Is it that I'm not wanted here? Is it that this person is annoying or whatever, something against the other person? Is it that I'm scared that there won't be enough? Is it that I don't feel like I fit in, or this situation isn't right for me? What are the stories around this situation that you're telling yourself that is making you upset about this situation? So you can just take a moment to think about it. You can free write sometimes so you can figure out what these stories are. But basically, a story is anything that is a perspective on something. Something that isn't based on truth or how the situation is, but something that is based on how you're viewing the situation. Often we project onto situations our own traumas and histories and backgrounds, and it can be really hard to see things clearly when we're trying to wade through a lot of the pains of our past. So this is what we're doing now. We're trying to bring awareness to what the story is that we're telling ourselves. I'm going to give you a quick minute just to jot that down. Feel free to pause the video if you need a bit more time. But we're going to move on to the third and final question. Now I want you to ask yourself, what is your earliest memory of feeling this way? So think about how this story makes you feel. Does it make you feel unworthy, unloved, abandoned, rejected? Whatever it is, and you can be quite precise with it or quite broad with it, but try and think back of what your earliest memory of feeling this way is. And when you write this down, I want you to take a second to write it down quite vividly. So I want you to write down how old you were. If you can remember what room you're in and who else was in the room with you. Even what you were wearing, what you were doing. try and bring this memory back into vivid detail, and you can flesh out how you were feeling about it, what was happening, and give it, a good sized paragraph of free writing to really bring you back into this early memory of when you felt a lack of love. Can be interesting because sometimes the things that come up, we wouldn't have realized our current situation is reflecting on something from this past, and they may not be even two subjects that are linked. The original thing you might have been writing about could have been your career, and then your earliest memory might have been something about your parents or something that happened at school. It could be something completely unrelated. What we're trying to do is tap into when you felt the same way. And by re-accessing this memory, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this memory and we're going to reintegrate it with ourselves. I'm going to give you a few more minutes to finish your paragraph, really bringing your early childhood memory back into the vivid present so we can clear it, shift it, and move forward with a little more self-love. All right. So, again, you can pause the video if you need a little bit more time. But what we're going to do is we're going to, jumping off that memory, we're going to go to a quick timeline meditation where we're going to visit ourselves back at that time where we were experiencing that memory. And we're going to reintegrate that part of ourselves. So you can pop your book down, grab a drink of water if you need, find a comfortable place to sit, and we're going to meditate for about 10-15 minutes as I guide you through a visualization exercise. So find a seat either with your legs crossed and your arms, your hands comfortably in your lap, or sitting on a chair with your feet flat on the floor. And when you're ready, just close down the eyes and take a few deep breaths. And start to tune into your breathing. I want you to imagine a golden light in the middle of your chest. And I want you to picture this light being warm and full of love energy. want you to visualize that this golden light gets brighter and brighter, and it starts expanding throughout your whole body, expanding outwards from the chest into the shoulders and the back, down into the torso and the pelvis, moving through the arms and the neck, into the thighs, expanding bigger and bigger, moving out into your hands, the top of your head, the bottom of your feet, until this golden light fills up your whole body. And you're just seeing yourself as this bright golden light, radiating this warm, beautiful gold energy. And all of a sudden you notice that you've traveled somewhere different. You're now in this dark, empty space. This pure space all around you. And you're this golden beam of light just floating in the middle. Now in this space, you're sitting on a line that moves from your right to your left, from your left to your right, a horizontal line. And this line is a timeline. And where you're sitting right now is the current moment, the present moment. But here, in this unique space and time that you found yourself in, you can travel along this timeline. And you can visit yourself at different times. So as you're sitting here, you look over to your left and you see a small figure in this distance. A young child. And as if you're looking through your own eyes, visualizing this, you turn your head around and you look at the child and you start just slowly walking towards it, keeping a distance that's comfortable for the child. But as you slowly move towards it, this vision becomes clearer and clearer. And you are seeing yourself at this point of time that you have just journaled about. You are visiting yourself during this memory. And you can see it so vividly. You're watching this child experience everything that you just wrote about. You're watching your child feel all these feelings that they've been going through. And I just want you to take a moment to just look at the child and see it from your perspective of where you are today. See the situation from the perspective of what you now know today. Now all of a sudden you notice that the child looks up and notices you. And I want you to give the child a little wave. Just greet the child. And I want you to just feel into how the child is feeling. What do you want to tell the child? Can you comfort your inner child? I want you to bend down so you're closer to the child. And in this moment, with your words or your touch, or whatever feels right, give this child the love and nurturance that they were craving in this moment. Notice how this child's responding. If you like, you may open your arms and see if the child wants to come in for a hug. If they do, just give them that warm embrace and enjoy this moment of connection. And if they don't, maybe you can ask them what more that they might need. You can take a moment to give that to them. When you feel ready, I want you to open your arms again and ask the child, "Are you ready to come back to me?" And if the child says yes, I want you to visualize them stepping back into your body and reintegrating with your being. It's okay if the child said no. You can always try this meditation another time and see if you get another answer. But if the child did step back into you, I want you to feel in to this feeling of wholeness. How does your soul feel after that reintegration? Do you feel more whole and complete? Do you feel that a weight has been lifted? Now, you turn around and you start walking the other direction. Back up the timeline, the other way, to the right. And you can see your feet taking it step by step, walking up this timeline, back towards the present moment. And as you stand at the present moment and you reach the spot that you first began, you notice a figure walking towards you from the distance. This is your future self, coming back to visit you. As they get closer and closer to you, you start to see their face and the details of what they're wearing and what their aura feels like and what their energy feels like. And they come up to you closer and closer, and they offer you their hands. And if you feel inclined, you may hold their hands. Look into their eyes. Look into their face. This is the face of someone that has learnt how to love themselves deeply. This is a face of someone that has already overcome all the trials and tribulations that you're currently facing. They are sending you pure love and nurturing. And as you're holding their hands and looking through their eyes, they have a message for you. What do they want to tell you? And receive that message. Let that message penetrate into your being. And if you like, open up your arms to your future self and invite your future self to walk with you and reintegrate with you as you visualize these two beings merging and you coming back into yourself here at the present moment. Just sit and notice, how do you feel now? Do you feel more still? More at peace? I want you to just put your hand over your heart space, as if you're holding on to that message that you received from your future self and placing it in your heart to carry with you whenever you need to be reminded of it. Take a few deep breaths and start coming back into the room that you're in. Move your body around a little bit just to wake your body up. And when you're ready, just gently blink open your eyes. Welcome back. I wonder if you feel as blissed out as I do in this moment, and I hope you got a wonderful message from your future self. I know I did, and I hope you got some great realizations about how you feel about self-love and where you're at. And this is a great exercise to do again and again when new things come up. So feel free to revisit this anytime that you may need. And I would love to hear how your experience went. So please hit us up and let us know if you enjoyed this meditation and this exercise. And I would love to hear what your future self had to say to you. So feel free to pop that in the comment box below. Something really powerful happens when we write the messages that we receive, and especially in a public space, we claim it as if that's who we are already. So I really encourage you to do that. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Hannah Wang. This is A Journey to Joy, and I'm wishing you all the best on your journey. Hey guys, I hope you loved that experience as much as I loved sharing it with you. And I just wanted to give you a quick note this was a beautiful little quickie to give us a boost of self-love and shift some things around. But if you're ready to go deep with me, check out our signature Journey to Joy series. We've got chapter 1, State of Mind, ready to go for you. And in that series, I teach you the process that I used with the healer to get really deep into our subconscious. We do muscle testing where we can figure out what our subconscious is thinking and how that might differ to our conscious mind. And I take you through a really deep line of questioning to understand why the subconscious mind holds in place these limiting beliefs that hold us back, and how we can reframe that and shift that so we can choose more empowering beliefs for us to uphold. This changes everything, guys. It's a really powerful way to bring what you desire into your life and to just come into a really powerful, joyful place within yourself. So if you love this exercise, I highly recommend you check that out. And as always, much love to you guys, and thank you so much for being here. Peace.